Network Entertainment.
That's a scary thought. Madaming mamamatay. Like if the temperatures keep rising, then diba, loss and damage, mawawala yung ating natural resources. Mas mahihirapan yung food security, mas mahihirapan tayo. So
Right.
so I think it's not really doing it for Mother Nature, it's really doing it for yourself.
Right.
Yeah, because Mother Nature doesn't really need us, but we need her. Wag na tayong patalo. We can win this naman eh. I mean, and then not compromise, because I feel like we're here because we've compromised so much. So, hingi na tayo ng tama. Like, let's
Right.
not settle for crumbs.
Hi, this is Mirza Season. Welcome to You Can Do This, a podcast that'll help you achieve your dreams and goals one episode at a time. What are you waiting for? Let's go! If there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that it feels like a burning hell outside. Not just here, but elsewhere around the world where natural disasters have been escalating. Just 2 weeks ago, UN Climate Chief Simon Stiell announced that humanity has only 2 years to save the planet. He said that while his warning may sound melodramatic, the urgency of taking action has never been clearer. And he called out not just governments and business empires to act now, but every person on the planet, which means you and me. So what now? Is there really anything we can do? Will using eco bags or giving up meat still cut it? How do we remain positive, hopeful, and proactive instead of panicky and in despair? What should our mindset be? Back on the show today, almost exactly 1 year later, is an award-winning journalist who will help us gain climate clarity, navigate all our complex emotions, and break down this urgent call to action to spur change towards a sustainable future. This GMA News Online managing editor has reported on reforestation and sustainable travel, water and gender, urban development and transport, and plastic pollution and health. And she's a member of the Oxford Climate Journalism Network. Last year, she participated in the pilot Climate and Environment Reporting Program of the International Media Support Unesco, where she came up with an award-winning climate strategy for the newsroom. Please welcome back Lou Albano.
Hi.
Hi, Lou.
So good to be here.
Welcome to hell.
Hello.
Hello. Ang init sa labas.
Yes.
So, just before coming here, we were chatting about what should we wear because it's so hot. And how do you dress in business attire in this heat, diba?
Yes.
It's affecting everyone. You know, a month ago, my mother-in-law's dog died
Oh no.
from heat stroke.
Oh no.
Yeah, so sad. And so it's just one of the instances which shows that it's really affecting everyone.
Yes.
So, yes.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
my avocado. I planted the avocado tree
Oh my
in the
gosh.
pandemic, and it also burned.
Burned!
As in,
Oh my gosh.
it burned. Yeah, we're trying to
Well,
revive it, but
What else burned but 19 cars in Naiya?
yes,
Due to grass fire, right?
Yes.
So many things
That's
happen.
Insane.
And so, since you last guested on the show, 1 year ago pa lang, parang ang dami nang nangyari.
Yeah.
What's the most important thing you learned in your last year of covering the climate beat?
So I think there are two things I've learned. Number one, there's really a big interest in climate. People want to know about it. They want to learn about it, what they can do, and in some instances, parang they want to know where to point their fingers to blame.
Right.
But at least may interest. And then number two, I was really taken aback by the power of journalism.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't realize na ganun pala yung kanyang kapangyarihan. Because when I reported on microplastics in Metro Manila Air, we got several phone calls from LGUs asking for the study.
Wow.
And because they
That's good.
wanted, right? Parang they
Okay.
care pala. And then the scientists who conducted the study got back to me and said, "Hey, they're being invited to policy making meetings." So it's like, oh,
Wow.
they said if it weren't for your story, then so I said,
There's hope for humanity after all.
na parang okay, totoo pala yung power ng journalism.
Oo.
Parang yun, first-hand experience.
Right. And we're gonna harness this power even more later on. So last year when I interviewed you for the show, I remember we're so careful na wag mag-doom and gloom kasi depressing, baka hindi na makinig yung mga tao. So instead we focus on the little small things that people can do. But actually, parang it seems to become more clear na sobrang drop in the ocean or yung mga individual actions and it will take too much time and instead we're being distracted from what we should really focus on. What do you think about that?
I super agree. It's really a systemic change that we need because those small individual actions, parang it's just greenwashing also. Remember the carbon footprint?
Right.
They made us be aware of our, when actually it's their carbon footprint that we need to be looking out for.
Right.
So
And like now we all have 200 eco bags and 200 metal straws.
yeah, we really need a systemic change, policies, with the way we live our lives because, like I said, there was interest. People want to know what they can do.
Right.
But like for me, Metro Manila does not allow me a lower carbon lifestyle that I want. It makes me dependent on my car, right? But I can't walk because there are no trees.
It's too hot.
It's public transportation, whereas we don't have a functioning public transportation. So parang it's almost impossible to do all those little things that we want to be doing with our lives.
Right. So what was your reaction when you heard that UN Climate Chief announced that?
I said, wait, melodramatic nga.
Oh.
I feel like I didn't need to hear that urgency. Again, panic. But then, so when I was reading it, I was like, okay, he's actually talking to governments and business leaders. So, usap kayo dyan.
Right.
Solve the problem.
But then he also said that all of us have a voice and we need everyone's voice right now. So what does that mean?
I feel like we should really be banding together, and make the powers that we feel that we want.
Right.
We want change. We want a better, lower carbon lifestyle.
Right. Wow. And it seems parang the magnitude of that seems so daunting. But do you have ideas?
No, but it's true, right?
Right.
It's long been urgent kasi. So it's true what he said na 2 years. Sabi niya 2 years. Pero he also pointed out to the 20 richest countries, right? So
okay.
The thing there is kasi the wealthier you are, the more of a polluter you are. There's more.
That's true.
Like you have more opportunities to pollute the planet. So tama naman na sila talaga dapat yung gumawa ng something.
Right. But meanwhile, well, first of all, for clarity's sake, so knowing that we only have 2 years, according to him, what are the other most important and urgent news or facts or key takeaways that we need to know about climate change that you want everyone to know about?
It's true na 1.5, diba? We really have to keep the warming at 1.5 Celsius. So 1.5 above industrial age. So hanggang dun lang talaga.
Ano na ba ngayon?
The latest that I saw, they're using na 1.2.
Okay.
Last year they were using 1.1. Now they're using 1.2. So I don't know. But
You mean bumaba?
No, we're nearing 1.5.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh.
So
okay.
That's why the 2 years.
Tumataas.
Yeah, that's
So we
why,
have 0.3 to go.
yeah.
Oh my
Kaya
gosh.
the 2 years that he's talking about is real. Like, oh no, we really have to cut down. We have to peak our emissions. Otherwise, yun.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
Emissions is the number one Diba? We have to watch our greenhouse gas emissions. Otherwise, it's gonna keep warming and warming and warming. What's not exciting about climate change is that it's so slow. So, kunwari, even if we peak until tomorrow, yun na yung ating emissions, we're not gonna feel it until decades later. So it might feel like what our efforts are useless, but it's just really so slow. That's the reality of it.
Right.
Maybe events that we really need to monitor and be mindful of. So number one, of course, the heat index. It is dangerous. It is not normal. And what we need to look for and to monitor is our government's response to it. Like, they cannot keep canceling classes. I mean, the response cannot end there, right? What else are they doing to make sure next year it's not going to be at 50?
Right.
Because right now it's at 47 degrees Celsius. So we have to look at and ask for better response.
And what are they supposed to be doing that they're not doing?
Where are the trees?
Oh, right.
Right?
Yes. Last year you said, walang trees, puro semento. Kaya mainit.
And it's still true. Parang, where are they? They shouldn't be cutting, more than planting nga, they should not be cutting down trees because it's harder to grow trees in this heat.
Right.
So, yesterday, there was this really, really thing that went viral that said Aroceros Forest Park was 5 degrees cooler than the actual heat index outside. So parang,
meaning,
diba, wake up to it naman.
we need trees.
And then again, public transportation. Parang if they just fix that, then less of us will be
using cars.
Yeah, so lower emissions. Then it could be diba, healthier, cooler that way.
Right.
So that's a government response that I would love to see. Another important event that's happening is the plastic negotiations. It's the fourth round of negotiations in Canada, and government leaders would like to address the full life cycle of plastic. So that includes production, that includes design and disposal. So I think that's very important because we all know we're drowning in plastic and we cannot afford any more of those.
Right.
So
how does it impact us in the Philippines if they're meeting about it in Canada?
Well, we have a delegation there.
Okay.
So that meron tayong boses doon. But kasi diba, we all know naman that naging imbakan na rin tayo ng basura.
Yes, from Canada.
Right? So that's like the number one. Hindi na tayo magiging hindi na tayo magiging number one polluter ng plastic. Right? So,
right.
So that should be able to there should be a good impact if all goes well. And then for me, the things with the DENR, like they uncovered the Bohol Resort.
Yes, the swimming pool beside the chocolate hills.
Right?
Right.
And then now they want to revoke Masungis.
Yes.
There's this gulo with Masungis. So parang I feel dapat bantayan yun kasi kailangan natin pangalagaan yung kalikasan.
So more vigilance on every citizen's part.
Yes.
Diba? Report yung mga ganon.
Yes.
Well, maybe on an individual action level, plant more trees if you can. But then, yeah.
Hi, guys. We are the Eavesdrop Podcast. My name is Francesca.
My name is Jelly.
This is Delamar.
This is Jude. What's up?
Yeah, and we are inviting you to check us out, your fellow TPN podcast.
And if you want to learn more about life, what's happening around us, you want to know about love, healing, this is the podcast you should be listening to.
Eavesdrop, 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 eavesdrop. Sometimes we get drunk and do the show. Those are the fun ones.
Like today.
Ooh, why? Who's drunk?
Like right now.
You're red as a bug.
Am I? Eavesdrop, please catch it. 4 hosts going crazy. You'll have fun. You'll cry. Everything else. So please check it out. The Eavesdrop.
Only on the Pod Network.
Ano pa?
On an individual level, I think joining beach cleanups is a good start.
Right.
It shouldn't be the end all. Like, it's almost like a health halo. Pag nakagawa ka ng tama, tapos na. It should just be a start. Like,
Right.
And then that's a good way. Last year I said to audit yourself. That's a good way to audit.
And kung wala man, kayo nang mag-instigate. Diba?
Yeah.
Parang mag-initiate.
Or like those who are already doing something, why don't you help them?
Right.
Kung hindi mo kaya ng katawan mo, baka you can, I don't want to say send money, but like sometimes that's what they need.
Right. So I sent you stats about the climate change performance index, and I'm shocked to find out that the Philippines is number 6 in the world. Well, the top 3 are vacant dahil walang may karapatan to be there. But we are number 6 after Denmark and Estonia. USA is number 57. China is number 51. So what does that mean?
It just means that we're not heavy emitters kasi the Philippines. So it's just that, like the size of our country, maliit lang tayo. We're not big manufacturing.
Okay.
We're not a big manufacturing country. So our emissions is really very, very small. I think that's also the reason why the past administration, diba, si Duterte was saying, magbayad kayo kasi pinupollute nyo kami. He had that one. I remember that.
Right.
So that's it, because we are low emitting country.
So swerte lang. We're minuscule in the realm.
In the global planetary.
Right. Are there other good news? Are there things that we are doing right that we should continue more of, or more bad than good?
There's always more bad than good.
Yeah, okay.
But the good news is, so kanina I was searching for good news kasi parang, like I said, I was so angry about this already. See, China's solar power capacity has risen 55% in 2023 last year. So that's good. Basta bababa yung emission nila eh. So that's good. I like Quezon City's response to the whole sustainability thing. So they're improving their bike lanes. So that's good, right? Because bababa yung need to take cars. They've expanded their refill program to 1,000 stores. So imagine the amount of plastic that will save. And then they're also targeting their food waste na. So in the palenques and in the different barangays. So that's good. Also, just because I reported on plastic. San Juan and QC started the refill system, and then Pasig, Marikina are now part of it also. So
right.
So
So maybe in your own areas you can
yes,
clamor for that.
yes,
Clamor for bike lanes. What else
Yes.
can we clamor for?
more trees,
More trees.
yeah.
Right. Okay. So how are you not freaking out and falling apart? Being in such direct contact with all these depressing news. How are you managing your climate emotions?
So that's why I keep doing the small climate actions, the personal ones. That's really to manage my anxiety. I read somewhere, I think BBC, na hope is the product of action. So that's how I
Hope
manage.
is the product of action. Okay.
That's why.
What else can we do? What should our mindset be?
Wag na tayong patalo. We can win this naman eh. I mean,
Huwag tayong patalo. Okay,
Oo.
tama.
And
Lumaban na tayo.
and then not compromise, because I feel like we're here because we've compromised so much. So, hingi na tayo ng tama. Like, let's
Right.
not settle for crumbs.
Right. Okay. How do you recommend that we do that?
So, kunyari, I remember asking you like the demographics of your.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I think a lot of your listeners
Are women.
are
yeah.
women and
Yeah.
well-to-do and can afford to install solar panels.
Hindi naman. Medyo mahal yun.
But it's so much cheaper now.
Is
Like,
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not $500,000.
Right.
Less than half. So kaya siya.
How about for condos? Kaya ba yun?
And we clamor.
We clamor in our condo association for
Yes.
solar panels.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's one. And then where you can, if your listeners are decision makers, maybe you can help put provisions to help reduce waste. I mean, the tumblers and the reusable bottles, they're so in fashion. That's good. That's step one. But then you go to malls and buildings, and then where are the dispensers?
Oo nga.
So, di ba parang if you're a decision maker of a company, of a
Right.
building management or whatever, then maybe you can install those provisions and help less waste.
Sa walkway ng De La Rosa, overhead, nagulat ako, may mga drinking fountain.
Nice.
Oo.
I miss those. Kasi
So-
I use them like when I'm in airports.
Right.
I have and I use them. So,
Safe naman yung water.
hindi pa naman ako nagkakasakit. So, okay naman. Yun.
So, imbis na mag-reclamor.
Bilis.
What else can we clamor for? Or what other steps can we take?
Waste management is really important also because so much of our waste goes to landfills and that affects our water and everything else. So that's one way. That's another thing you can do. Like you really have to band together. And where, kunyari, I'm really, like last year, I'm very, very impressed with the alternative mobility sector.
What is that?
They're fighting for the bike lanes.
Okay.
So support them where there is rally, where they do protests. Join them, kasi I think they're quite successful. Like
Okay.
they were able to retain the Ayala bike lanes, right?
Okay,
And then
true.
they're fighting for the bike lanes in EDSA because there's been talk that it might be removed.
Right.
So that's one way.
Okay. Matutunaw ka lang sa init. Pero go pa rin.
I really wonder, like 2 years ago during the elections and there were so many rallies and people were joining, hindi tayo natunaw, no?
Oo nga.
And then now it's like, what's happening?
Parang grabe na now eh. You can really feel your skin burning.
Yeah, mahapdi sa
Oo.
mahapdi sa balat. So yun.
Right. How else can we make our voice felt?
Civic engagement. We have to call barangay. We have to give suggestions. Hindi lang pwedeng magreklamo pero who likes hearing complaints,
Right,
right?
right,
Maybe
right.
we can be more proactive about these things. Where you are, I think that's the most important. Where you are, like you do it.
Do what you can where you are with what you have.
Yeah.
Right.
I was thinking, I was in Ayala Triangles 2 weekends ago. And then there's a row of restaurants there, di ba? I was thinking, ano kayang ginagawa nila yung mga napaghugasan ng bigas? They throw it away. But then, that's in the garden. They can totally just
Yeah.
use the wastewater. And then, di ba, lesson,
Right.
I don't know, I feel like it can go circular.
Right.
So, yung mga ganung bagay.
Right. And for all the mga Facebook ranters there and all the social media ranters, maybe you can put your ranting to good use.
Yeah, my therapist said, channel your anger kasi that's energy that could move things. So,
Right. Do you want to make like a strong, urgent, admonishing call out to all your fellow journalists, content creators, Filipino citizens? Diba? Let's channel our worry and anxiety and anger towards
doing something positive.
Right.
Yeah. We can, wag tayong patalo. Kaya, I think we can do this if we band together. If there's like in journalism, like
Right.
one of the things that we learned, di ba kasi journalism is all about outscooping one another,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fastest, the best, whatever.
right.
But parang it's not good anymore to be competitive about it. It's really all about collaboration. So you collaborate with each other. So I think sectors in society and friends, we can be collaborating with each other to find
Right.
solutions.
What can every journalist and content creator do for starters?
Be noisy.
Be noisy.
I think so.
Yeah. How?
Like just use
Specifically,
your
use your voice.
yeah. I'm so surprised. So I'm still at it because whenever uncover or when I read all these studies na I get panicky. I go on Instagram stories and then
Yeah.
and then the people who engage with me, it's like, oh, I have new recruits. So,
Okay.
so I think that's
Right,
cool na
Right.
yun, may mga bagong people who care pala about it.
I remember what you said last year na pasensya na sa mga followers and friends ko na even in your small circle, sa kakakulit mo,
Ang kulit-kulit ko.
it's resulting in more people making more people kulit. And even you are surprised that whenever you put out an article, it results in change. So imagine if we can multiply the Lou Albanos.
I don't know. I don't know about change. I feel like even me, parang I get stuck in communicating, but I feel like there's a next step that I need to take.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, we have to be communicating everything, but parang there's always a next step kasi. So sometimes I feel guilty na, dadakdak na naman ako, pero
No,
ginagawa ko?
don't. We need the dakdak.
Diba, parang I feel like I can be doing something else or something more.
Right.
So yun.
Right. I sent you also the quote of Greta Thunberg. I don't know if you have it because I lost it. But she said that
Something about journalists.
something about every journalist can.
I think what she said is true because journalists can report about every single thing that's happening outside. So she has a point. I guess what she's saying is journalists have a crucial role in this whole thing.
Or a responsibility even.
Yeah, to be able to report on what's happening, and all the investigations, right? All the greenwashing, all the fossil fuel industries, companies. So, yun. Tama naman. Mahirap lang, pero tama siya.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you want to make a call? I'm pushing you to make a call
To fellow
to
journalists.
fellow journalists. Nananawagan po si Lou Albano.
No, I think you guys, I think we're all doing a great job. If there are things you can't report because of, for instance, safety or because, company policies, maybe you don't have to hold that thing close to your heart. Maybe you can give it to a fellow journalist and maybe that journalist can do it for you. It might not be your name on the byline, but it's safer for him or her. Work together. I think we have to work together.
Right. And what about anyone who has a voice, whether through the keyboard or when you speak in your videos? What do you want to tell them?
Keep using your voice. Sabi ni UN Climate Chief, we have a powerful voice, so we should use it. Keep using it, and then effect change.
What about the government and
Gawin mo yung trabaho mo.
business conglomerates?
I think we're here because of greed. At the bottom line, like, so, di ba sabi ko, I'm really angry na because it's really just people want to keep profiteering, making profits from the environment, and hindi na niya talaga afford. So, how much more money do you need?
Right.
Right? How much more money? Parang, is that not enough yet? Kasi
Right.
hindi na talaga siya kaya. So, maybe we can redraw. I don't know kasi we're still in the capitalism.
Right.
Oh no, not to sound like a Marxist or whatever, but I read this book. It's called The Donut Economics. So, it's really cool because it just pointed out the faults of the current capitalism society that we're in. So, parang it's an infinite growth that the planet cannot sustain. So, talaga bang year on year, fiscal year growth, profit.
So instead of all the greenwashing that they're putting their efforts into, what do you want them to do?
Yeah, I was talking to a friend about this na instead of putting budget sa mga marketing
Yeah.
messaging, greenwashing, baka you can use that budget to clean up your production, right? Maybe you can use that budget so that your company will not be producing as much waste. Rethink your logistics or
Right.
parang sayang eh. You have the money naman eh. So, ibig sabihin, you can retool things around.
Right. And for the consumers who patronize these greenwashers, they have the money also to make smarter choices, right? Do you want to encourage them to do something, choose wisely?
Yes, and like interestingly, the thing you sent, you can't shop your way out of the because you cannot. So just because it's being marketed as kunwari,
Eco-conscious.
sustainability line, then what?
Right.
How does that lower the emission? It doesn't.
Right. So be more discerning.
Yeah, you don't. Is that still greed? Like you don't need. Kunyari, di ba, sobrang uso ngayon yung Stanley Cups.
Okay.
Do you really need the collection? And then what are you going to do when the
Right.
trend goes down? Then you throw it away. And then what?
Yeah.
You know, do you really need to be collecting all of those things? Do you have? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just ponder on that a little bit more. And baka naman hindi.
Right. And what will happen in 2 years if we don't all take action?
That's a scary thought. Madaming mamamatay. Like if the temperatures keep rising, then diba, loss and damage. Mga,
Hindi lang aso.
hindi lang aso, hindi lang yung avocado tree. Hindi ko na siya maano kasi I really lost myself when we were discussing loss and damage. But
Right.
but for instance, one of the in the IMS program, there was a group of Indonesian journalists whose investigation about tuna, Filipino fishermen fishing in their waters. Parang that's number one, nakakahiya, but yung Pilipino nandun na. But I think that also says, like geopolitically, ano yung undercurrents nun
Right.
sa like, geopolitics. Like, mawawala yung ating natural resources. We will have to venture further and further out to sea, and then andun na pala tayo sa ibang bansa.
Oo. Yung rice nga lang ini-import na natin. Pati yung fish.
Di ba parang mas mahihirapan yung food security, mas mahihirapan tayo. So,
Right.
so I think it's not really doing it for Mother Nature, it's really doing it for yourself.
Right.
Yeah, because Mother Nature doesn't really need us, but we need her. So,
And maybe for those who think, patay na ako by then. Well, yung mga Gen Z, baka buhay pa.
yung mga
At saka
anak,
yung mga anak ng mga Gen Z.
yeah, di ba parang, sometimes I wonder because I don't have kids. It's like, why do I even care so much?
Right.
When I die, wala, tapos na to eh. Pero, wala.
Well, statistics show that a lot of the Gen Zs don't want kids na nga because of that.
Yeah, but also, di ba, longevity, humahaba na rin yung, so we actually
Baka
might
buhay
be
pa tayo
around.
at 120 years
Right?
old.
So, and by then, you will be the, what do you call, vulnerable,
Right.
diba? The older and the younger generations are the most vulnerable to climate change. So,
Right. So, in the light of nag-doom and gloom na tayo dahil sobrang urgent na.
galit na eh.
What's your key message or the most important thing you want to say to our listeners?
Whatever little thing you're doing is not very little if it's helping you. Remain hopeful and remain productive. But if you keep doing it on your own, then it might not be as impactful as it can be. So if you're able to get your neighbors with you, start with the community, kunyari kung condo, that building, then you might be able to have a better impact.
Right. And what about using their voice to speak up?
Wait. Yeah, I mean, what's stopping you, right? Be a lead. I don't know about being a leader, but like, yeah, if you feel strongly about it, get your neighbors on.
Right.
Talk about it. Talk about your anxieties, and then turn it into positive action. Get
Right.
more people with you.
Because hope starts with action.
Yes, it's the product of action.
Hope is the product of action.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lou.
was okay.
Thank you so much. And
happy to be
I'll
here.
see you again next year or sooner. Because we must not stop talking about it.
No.
We must not stop making reclamor.
Miss Mirza is using her voice. I am too.
Trying.
Yes.
So hopefully you will all use your voice and not
Right.
lose it.
Not lose
Use it or lose it. Thank you, Lou. And where can people follow you and your work and read about all the things that you are writing?
So I'm still with GMA News Online, so you can see my work there. And on social media, Lou Albano.
Thank you. What are you working on now? What article on climate change?
Oh, so I just finished 2 long reports, but right now I'm thinking about the efforts of MMDA,
Right.
the greenifying EDSA.
Right.
Ano ba to? What's the impact?
Okay. We're going to read that right away. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to You Can Do This. If you want to know more about me, visit mirza.com. That's MYRZA.com. And follow me at Mirza Season on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you like this episode, please don't forget to rate it 5 stars. Hit the follow button on your podcast streaming platforms and hit the notification bell to get alerted every time we release a new episode. Catch you at our next convo, and always remember, you can do this.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.